started. So tell me real quick though, Manuel, I told you about this. You said, okay, Nathan, I want in. What are you looking to get out of this? You paid $100. What do you want out of it?
The main thing what I would like to get out of it is exactly what you just sum up, the things that normally people wouldn't find just looking over Google, and all your research and all your work behind the scenes, and also about this curiosity that you spoke about, this magic button, what you use and what you use how by yourself with your company, and also with your acquisitions and sales, what you did and what you're working on.
Great. Well, look, Manuel, I'll reiterate I told everybody else. Even when I have people that coach on the podcast, you probably heard these episodes. I always hit them hard because I am not
Yes.
a fan of selling time for money. I think it's the most inefficient thing possible. So then you look at me and you go, Nathan, you're hypocritical. We're paying for time with you. Here's the thing, I don't need the money, right? I sold a business, but the money is an easy way to qualify people, right? So you're here with other people that paid $100, so the quality of questions are going to be better, and that's how this is going to work, folks. I am not coming with a preset PowerPoint deck that I'm going to jam down your throats. It's your responsibility to ask me questions on things and data that you heard on the podcast that maybe you don't understand, or things like that. So Manuel, thanks for joining, man. We're going to have fun.
Perfect. Thank you.
I'm going to unmute Jackie Cohen and see if she has her mic connected. Manuel, introduce yourself to the group real quick while we're waiting for Jackie. What's your background? What's your business?
My background is I'm very new into the online internet marketing space and building up a different kind of business. But actually, I'm a professional athlete, and I'm a professional athlete.
Athlete, yep.
Badminton athlete.
Yep.
Yeah. And I always had this drive inside me to go into business and building my own businesses. And then I got 1 year ago into online businesses and working with your laptop from everywhere, and just starting out doing stuff like this, and also having lots of other different kind of ideas for companies to create different kinds of businesses, from the athlete management company to the retail companies, which I'm working on with different partners right now.
And Jackie, are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I hear you. Great. So hey, introduce yourself real quick to everybody else on the call. What's your background? What are you focused on now? And why did you pay $100 to come on? What are you wanting to get out of this?
My background is actually up through corporate sales. I run new business sales divisions and generate revenue for new businesses, startups, and new business sales divisions. In the corporate space, although I have an entrepreneurial bug, and I liquidate, consign, sell high-end, or actually I should say bags, on third-party marketplace. And I also have a vintage fur e-commerce website called Bare.com. Yep. And I signed up for this because I also have some innovative sort of product ideas in the background that are in their infancy and in seed, and quite frankly, I really do have an entrepreneurial bug, and I can sort of sniff out, and I love to hear about new opportunities, and I sort of am able to I kind of know, I don't know, have some sort of instinct as to what's going to go, what's not going to go. Yep. I stumbled upon your podcast, and I thought I was impressed because anytime I'm reading articles or information and I want to know, well, how did that person get to where they are? There's always steps and omissions that don't make sense. And when I listened to your podcast, you were very pressing and direct, and the guests were also, I don't know if it's a rule that you set, but accessible. And I liked that there was an opening for a community of entrepreneurs and innovators that I could access, that were generous with their information and how they did it. And so far, that has been my experience. And so, you know, I just want to say, like, I think you're so worth the money that I know you know this, but, you know, I'm deep in the middle of a move, and you told me to call us today at 1 o'clock. So I'm sitting in the office at my storage facility on this webinar.
Good. Good. Well, hey guys,
That's commitment.
just like the podcast, I don't like to dance around. I like to get directly into data. So here's the deal. I'm going to walk through a little data manual that I think is valuable to you and to you, Jackie. But you are going to drive this. I'm not doing these if it's me just jamming info down your throat. I need you guys to say, Nathan, what does that mean? What does that mean? So I'm going to show you some data now that's private. You interject and stop me. You're both going to stay unmuted. Everybody else, you can ask them questions. You guys interject and stop me, though, okay, if you have questions, right?
Sure.
Okay.
Thank you.
So you guys should be able to see my screen now. And on my screen, you should see, this is a private spreadsheet that I keep where I sort all the podcast episodes with their specific data. So can you guys see line 74 here, Manuel?
Yes.
Yep.
So this company, I want you guys to go to the website, okay? Because there's a very interesting lesson here. It's frontapp.com, frontapp.com. Now, let me tell you a little bit about Mathilde, okay? That is the founder. Her name is Mathilde Collins. She's from France. She moved here. She's 26 years old, okay? 2015 revenue was $1 million. Her first year revenue was 2014. Okay, when she was 24, they did $10,000. They just closed a $10 million round of funding. And if you look at these numbers, now I'm going to let you guys look at these numbers, okay? Real quick, look at these numbers on my screen right here under ARPU, churn, CAC, up to LTV dollars. Tell me if you see it, Manuel. What do you see in these numbers that might surprise you?
I would have no idea.
Me neither.
Okay. Do you guys know what ARPU means?
No.
ARPU is average revenue per user per month.
Okay.
This is a really healthy way to know if you're serving a small business clientele, right? You're probably going to have ARPUs of $10 a month, like Buffer and Hootsuite. If you're serving an enterprise clientele, like Oracle, you're going to have ARPUs that are in the thousands. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, Jackie, do you know what MRR means?
MRR?
Yep.
Is that what you asked me? I'm assuming it's something about a margin or revenue.
Monthly recurring revenue.
Monthly, right? Okay.
A monthly recurring revenue. So last month they did $242,000. Okay. What does gross churn mean, Manuel?
Gross churn. Wouldn't know.
Okay.
I'm gonna guess.
Yep.
I'm gonna guess the cost of the cost of the company for losing a client and ramping a client up.
Close, but no cigar. I'm going to break this down. I'm going to go month 1, month 2, month 3. Okay, I'm going to say beginning customers, new customers, net customers. So in month 1, let's say you launch the business, you have 100. Well, you start with no customers. You add 100. You have net 100 new. Let's say beginning customers next month, again, you have 100. Okay, and these are not dollars. These are these are actual numbers, okay? Numbers, okay, 100. Let's say you add on an additional 125 customers. However, we're going to add a new line in here and say lost customers. So let's say lost customers here are 50. What's our net new customer, Manuel?
Net new customer. Wait, new 100. It should be in the second month, right?
Yep. And month 2, what's our net customers after month 2?
Should be 75. No, we lost. No, the new customers. No, we have the.
So 100 plus new customers added minus
yes 50.
175.
Yeah.
Okay. So
the 100 first one. Yeah.
You got it. Yep. So you have 175 net customers. Okay. What churn is? Churn in month 2 would be equal to lost customers divided by total net customers. Okay.
Okay.
Number. Okay. And then you're going to multiply this by 100. Okay. Times 100. Right. So you can see churn here is 28%. What that means is every month you lose 28% of your customers. That is way too much. What that means is you should stop focus on adding new customers and focus on keep the one.
Retention, loyalty.
Jackie, it's retention. Manuel, does that make sense?
Oh yes, that's perfectly sense now. Yes, churn. Okay.
Good.
Now, can I ask you, is this also applicable to, I know you have a lot of people who have SaaS businesses on, and I know like that's where it's at right now, right? Because it's recurring revenue.
Yeah.
When you're talking about, which I personally do not have a SaaS product in mind, but when you're talking about an e-commerce or an e-tail site, is this formula? I understand churn and loyalty and retention, but is this formula the same formula that's applicable if it's not a SaaS recurring software service, coaching, something like that?
Manuel, what do you think the answer is?
I think yes.
Why?
Because the point is still the same about the customers which you should keep and make them loyal and have like this the churn low.
So Jackie, it's a really
But how can you really, I think that's what I'm asking, like, I'm sure that the formula is applicable, but how can you really determine churn in an e-tail or an e-commerce site? It's so variable per the product you're offering.
Yeah, so it's not, so the version of churn for e-commerce is called reorder rate. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
It's the same concept, but you see here where I have reorder rates listed in this column?
I don't know. I can't see your screen. I can see you.
Manuel, can you see my screen?
I can see yes, both. Yes, you and the screen, yes.
Jackie, zoom.
That happened to me.
Are you on your phone?
Yeah.
Click to the left.
Is that why?
Click to the left or the right.
Oh, okay. I see it.
Yeah. So this company is Stowaway Cosmetics. Okay. And let's talk about one of their products. Okay. The price point of this product is $25. You're about to see. Okay. It's Essential Eye Palette. Okay. This is full e-commerce. $25. Cost them $4. So their gross margin is 80%. Okay.
Okay. I get that.
Blah, 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 blah. Their reorder rate, okay, answers the question, what percentage of our users have come back and ordered a second, third, or fourth time?
I mean, it's pretty high, 40%.
Well, it depends on what market you're in, right? So in mattress business, 40% is extremely high. In a mattress business, you're lucky to get 5% because people rarely buy mattresses, right? However, for something like a toothbrush or razors, the reorder rate goes really high.
Right.
So let me ask you both the question. Can you think of a company currently that just made waves that was a typical e-commerce company where the reorder rate was so high it turned into a SaaS business?
The Shave Club.
Exactly.
Yeah, I read about it. Yeah.
Exactly. Dollar Shave Club. So what you're seeing right now in the market are e-commerce businesses that have a very high reorder rate will typically move to calling themselves a monthly recurring subscription because monthly recurring subscription companies get much higher valuations. Do you guys understand why I say that?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's very clear, yes.
Great. So, Jackie, good question about e-commerce and is it still applicable? The answer is yes. Manuel, did you have a question?
No, very clear. Thank you.
Okay, good.
Like, what makes you want? What is there a revenue column for that company that you just showed, that cosmetic? Because that thing is like bunk, and that's another reason why I listen to your podcast, because like I look at something like that and I'm like, that thing generates did I just see 6 million?
They've raised $1.5 million. That's their total funding. Okay, and they've sold over 100,000 units at an average price point, okay, of $75. So they've sold about 7.5 million.
Right. See, like, that's the other reason why I listen to your podcast and why I'm glad that we're in conversation, because something like that, to me, I wouldn't buy that. I can't believe that something like that's $7 million.
Yep, 7.5 million bucks. And I can tell you what Stowaway Cosmetics, actually look at their website. You're going to see on their website, you see what they have up here? They have a product category where you can go and browse product by product. But look, what does this say right here?
Where am I looking?
Subscribe.
It says subscribe.
So they have monthly. So it's a membership.
Exactly. They have membership because if you can get people set up on a membership, your revenue becomes more predictable, which makes it easier for you to get a higher valuation and for you to plan your expenses.
Right. See, as a consumer, I'm not into. I would never subscribe to makeup. I don't do any of them. That's why I'm always shocked how do they do it, but I guess people do.
The key thing that you want to do here, remember, it is important to build products that you like, but a big mistake entrepreneurs make is they think they're the market. And
I know.
they're not. So what you should do is
I know.
take other people's ideas, even if you wouldn't buy their idea, and apply it to what you're interested in, which is your vintage fur business.
Well, I have other things I'm interested in too, but that's one of the things, yes, that I love. But I am very versed in the cosmetic world as well.
Yep.
But again, I know because what's her face? She just was in 30 Under 30, the millennial, the Asian chick, and she has, what's her
She's
business? I can't remember.
YouTube star.
Yes.
Yep. She's moving into subscription as well.
Yeah, she did subscription as well. However, if you read Forbes, the wealthiest women, she's not on it, but you know who's on it? Another Asian woman whose family immigrated over here and started a cosmetic business, and she basically started her own line and then sold it. So it's interesting.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, look, there's all kinds of ways to kind of do business. Let's keep pulling through here. So you guys know what churn means?
Sorry.
No, it's good, Jack. What does CAC mean, Manuel?
No idea.
Jackie, you got a guess?
Let me think. Jackie's also not on her 5-star A game.
The first C stands for customer.
Customer acquisition. No.
Yeah, it must be a cost of acquiring customer.
Yep, customer acquisition cost.
Right.
So the reason this is important, okay, now this company is doing very well, okay, but the reason this is important is you never want to spend in SaaS typically, you only want to spend 1/3 of your total lifetime value of a customer on acquisition. So if somebody told me, we're going to play a little game real quick, guys, okay? If I told you my CAC was 100, but my total lifetime value of a customer was 200, is that a good deal or a bad deal to get that new customer?
It's a good deal. No, it only costs you $100 and they're spending $200, you said?
Mm-hmm.
It should be the 1/3, no?
So again, the answer here is bad deal. You really don't.
This is half.
Because remember, Jackie, the customer acquisition cost only takes into account your paid marketing spend. So if you are operating on a ratio of $1 for acquisition cost to get $2 of revenue, you have to remember that $1 you're paying all your headcount, your rent, your taxes, everything that's not the paid marketing spend. So to keep a good buffer, you only want to be doing about $1 of paid marketing spend for every new $3 of revenue you're driving. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'm going to ask another question. So there is a formula sometimes when I buy and resell, and I want to be at a 57% margin no matter what, at the base. Margin? Gross.
Okay.
In order to basically make sure that I can stay afloat personally, right? And it pays my expenses. I don't really put marketing in there because I'm all organic and grassroots, but a 57% margin is a lot slimmer than 1/3. Although, are we just speaking about just the marketing costs?
Yeah, we are only talking about marketing costs. So in an average balance sheet, you're going to have revenue, right? You're going to have expenses. And under expenses, you'll have, salaries, rent, and then marketing spend, right? Facebook ads, all that stuff, right? If you're going to spend $1 on marketing in any given month, you better know that that's going to add at least $3 in top line revenue because you still have these things to pay out of that $3.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yes. So the minimum should be 1/3, as you said at the beginning.
Exactly. Now look at this business: 0 and 6,600. Is this good or bad?
This is really good. This is crazy good. I mean, this is 6 times.
It's extremely good. That's why. Yeah. That's why they just raised $10 million at a about a $60 million valuation.
What is it? What company?
It's called FrontApp.com.
The one that we watched, from the French girl, no?
Matilda, yeah. Now, I want you to take a look at this, okay? Because one of the things that I want to talk about with you guys, I think is valuable, is if you look at this gross churn, this is gross subscriber churn. Do you notice here when we did this chart in month 1, month 2, and month 3 and calculated churn, this is number of customers, okay? So this is what you would call subscriber churn. Now, let's copy this, okay, and create a second version. Now we're gonna say revenue churn. Jackie, what do you think revenue churn means?
I mean, if I had to take a stab, I mean, I really wouldn't have an idea because how can you churn revenue?
Yeah.
You can churn customers.
These 50 lost customers in month 2. What if
how much is lost from that churn?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So let's say that those 50 were actually small business owners that are broke anyway, and we're only paying $3 a month.
Okay.
That means this would be $150, right? Let's go through the rest of this. Let's say these new customers in month 1 paid on average $10 per month, so that's 1,000, right? This is 1,000, okay? Which means this is 1,000. This is 1,250. You churn 150. We're gonna make this all numbers like that. Now look at what churn is, 7.14%. Why is that?
Yeah, because you said that customers there, the lost ones, they were just broke anyway, and they did not buy the higher product, so you didn't lose that much.
That's right. It's because the average revenue per user of the lost customers was about 1/4 of the average revenue of the customers you kept. So those customers are not as valuable, which is why revenue churn is much lower.
Okay. So basically you're not going to worry about them. You're sort of dismissing it.
The point is understand which customers it's okay if you lose and which ones are high value that you should keep.
Okay.
Now, here's something that's interesting about this, okay? Because I'm going to get to a point here in a second with Front App that's valuable. So we have beginning customers, new customers, okay? We're going to say new revenue, beginning revenue, new revenue, upsell revenue. Manuel, what's upsell revenue mean?
Upsell will be if a customer buys a product and it gets shown a second product and he buys also the second product.
You got it. So let's say in month 2, let's say we added no new revenue. Okay, our beginning revenue was 1,000 because that's what we had last month. Let's say we added no new customers, but from those past customers who paid 1,000 in the first month, we got them to double their volume and we upsold them each. So we actually added 1,000 there, okay? But we lost 150 from a few of these people that churned, okay? So total revenue now, when you add all this together, right, is going to be your beginning revenue plus your upsold revenue minus your lost revenue, okay? Or 1,850. Now, this actually makes churn, okay? When you look at your upsell revenue plus your lost revenue, if these 2 lines that I have highlighted, are you guys with me, by the way?
Yes, yes.
If I add these together, right, lost revenue is actually negative, right? You see how churn is negative?
Oh, yeah, negative, yeah.
That is the holy grail. What that means is it doesn't matter that you're losing customers, $150 worth, because you're so good at core customers, you upsell them.
Yeah, the ones that stayed and kept on buying, like got the upsell, so that's much like more valuable.
Exactly. So now the revenue triggers that you have in your business is you can maximize getting new customers with new revenue. You can maximizing selling old customers more products, right? And you can still lose revenue, but grow big league as a company. Does that make sense?
Could I ask, when you are a startup, I mean, I'm always in startup mode. I am always in acquisition mode. So at what point do you begin to pay attention to this information? I mean, it can't be immediately, right? Because immediately you're only in acquisition.
Yeah. So I'm going to show you guys, again, this is the kind of stuff that I would never share on a public call, but because you guys are here, I can share this. You know, I told you guys I acquired Send Later.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Okay. take all this in real quick, what you see. Now, this is private information, okay? But what you can see here, this is real time. This was updated 2 minutes ago, 2:26 p.m. today. And Jack,
Okay.
what am I tracking here? Can you tell?
It looks like you're tracking people's messages.
What
Yeah,
I'm
they're long,
tracking-
they send messages.
Yeah, I'm tracking their usage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tracking their usage. So I know that Daniel at this company, okay, about 3 minutes ago created a new reminder. Great, they're using our tool. So
Right.
the reason I'm telling you this, Jackie, you should be paying attention to this immediately. Right when you get your first customer, you should start tracking, okay, if they buy, but they don't use it, are they more or less likely to cancel or ask for a refund? What's the answer?
Oh, if they buy and they don't, they're going to ask for a refund.
Exactly.
More.
Or they're going to cancel their subscription, right?
Right.
The number one way for you to get someone to come back and buy again or to keep their subscription active is to make sure they are using your product. Too many entrepreneurs quit after they get them as a customer, which is the wrong approach.
Right.
The easy part, the usage is the hardest part.
Right.
So this little piece of information, guys, is one of the reasons I've built multi-million-dollar businesses. I don't care about revenue. I want people addicted to my tool because I know if they're addicted about me and I have their mind share, their money share will follow.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Okay.
Can I ask you, Nathan, do you think like some of the product idea, well, my primary product idea that I have in mind I'm trying to get a prototype, it's really a one-time usage. I mean, it's a specific beauty product. Like, is that dumb?
Why do you think that might be dumb?
Well, if the way we prototype it's recyclable and reusable, nobody would ever have to really buy another, except for the fact that it has to do with cosmetics, and the particular cosmetic women would have multiples of. So what I had a vision of was having like one for every lipstick.
Yep. So here's the way.
Take Spanx. You know Spanx?
Yeah.
So, I mean, typically people would only buy one pair, but she's a billionaire. So people are buying more than one pair.
Yeah, so Spanx understands what causes somebody to buy it a second time. They know that between the first purchase and the second purchase, that woman needs to wear those Spanx to at least 3, dinner events. Or maybe it's 10 dinner events. They know those numbers, and then they incentivize those new customers to go do those actions because they know those actions will lead to new revenue. See, the reason this is so challenging is because you actually have to understand your customer, which most people are lazy to know. There's all these info marketers, they just want to get the first sale. You actually have to understand, like, for example, this chapstick that I bought, right? These people know that during the winter, I'm going to go through this tube of chapstick much faster, right, than in the summer. Or if I'm in a windy city, I'm going to consume this 3 times faster than if I'm in a not windy city, which means if I consume this 3 times faster, they can spend 3 times as more on acquiring me as a customer because I'm going to consume it 3 times as faster and buy 3 times more. This is why it's critical to understand like how your product, right, is actually getting used.
So what if I just think this is a phenomenal idea and I think no one's ever done it and I think it solves the problem and people would purchase it, but I can't really connect the dots and how somebody's going to buy more than one. Is that wasteful? Is that just a waste of energy and time?
I would run like hell if nobody else has done it before because look, I'm like a very smart guy. I don't come up with any original ideas. I don't like creating things. I like owning them. There's a difference. You with me?
Yeah, I might be the opposite.
I don't like creating things. I like buying ownership in things that are already working. Okay, like for example, the reason I acquired Send Later, I'll show you guys exactly why I acquired Send Later. What I did is, do you guys remember the interview that I did with the Boomerang CEO? Do you remember that?
No, but I know what Boomerang is.
So here's that episode. It was episode 33. Okay. They told me they had 29,000 customers. They'd raised 400 grand, $11 ARPU, 325 grand per month in MRR, 7% churn, etc. Okay, healthy numbers. I went to their website, Boomerang Gmail. I looked at their website and I said, ugh, this is like not a great website. There's not much here. Like, why is it working so well? And so I clicked, add the extension. I went into the Chrome store. I went to the Boomerang app. Can't believe I'm showing this. Okay, this is like the stuff that people don't share this, right? Boomerang for Gmail. I click on it and I see, okay, they have 1 million users. And I'm going, out market these guys. I need to copy the hell legally. Okay, legally, of course. I won't say that I do this, okay, but I'm going to say it. Copy the hell out of what's already working and then use my marketing skills, which is a major advantage, to out execute them. So all I did is I clicked related. And I started going into all of these apps that are the same or like Boomerang, and I started emailing the people that created them. Well, the people that created Send Later wrote back and said, yeah, Nathan, for the right price, we would sell. Well, now Nathan Latka. Okay?
Right.
So what I'm going to do now, Jackie, I didn't create anything new. I didn't invent it. But I'm going to use what I know about marketing to grow faster and beat Boomerang. That is, in my opinion, how you should do business. Understand what's working, then use your unique
that's amazing.
How to execute.
Wow.
Right, Manuel?
Yes, I agree fully. That's great. Yeah.
Jackie, what do you think?
I'm thinking, how is that applicable, one, to a vintage first site, which we can speak offline about it. It has its obstacles right now in itself. And two, that for me, that's only one silo, because I am more on the creative end, and I feel like I'm an idea savant, and I get these things and ideas that I'm like, how come no one's ever done that? That would be really cool. So I feel like maybe there's different facets of entrepreneur, and I know it's like an uphill climb and an uphill battle, and I get what you're saying. One, I don't have resources to buy a company. Two, I understand what you're saying, but three, yeah, like I really wouldn't look at a company and say, okay, how can I buy that and how can I market them better? I might have ideas how I could market a company better, but I wouldn't have resources to buy them. Like when we were speaking, when you said we were talking about shoes of prey, and she had this idea and she didn't even know how to, produce them. That's more like sort of where my brain's at, although my skill set is in sales.
Yeah, so you have to understand what your skill set is and focus there. Otherwise, you're never going to get any momentum, and momentum's king, right? Like that's your biggest risk. You're going to always be distracted by a squirrel that comes along, and you're never going to execute anything. So my recommendation to you, I mean, if you want to just be a creative, go be an artist. If you want to be a self-sufficient businesswoman, give yourself 4 or 5 months to be an artist and look at new things and create things. But you've got to make a commitment to buckle down at the end of 4 months and go all in on something.
Right. Well, if I can get this prototype produced, this would be one of them. But again, my concern is it scalable? Yes. Will people buy multiple? I don't know.
Well, tell Manuel the idea.
I'm afraid because it's not like patented or.
Listen,
I'm not interested.
If someone's going to copy you and be able to beat you from copying, they're going to win anyway.
Well, the idea is it's a lipstick cooling case, because lipsticks are costly. People have multiple, and they're always melting. And you can spend $55, $60 on a Chanel lipstick, or you can spend, $3 even a drugstore lipstick, and they're always melting. So I kept saying, how come I can't figure out, you can stick it.
Sorry, what? I didn't want to interrupt you, but you said people would just buy one, but I guess it could be also that, like most of the girls, if you convince them as Nathan said, with the marketing, they would have more for their best lipsticks.
Right, like I was thinking, at first I thought in my head it would be sort of like a charging component where you could charge it into your phone, charge it at night, and then it would have some sort of fan, but it didn't work because the fan was blowing out hot air in people's purses and bags. So then I found another new material. But yes, maybe there could be multiple, because I was thinking I could have different slogans, as to why you...
I think here more the worry should be as this is of course my opinion, is I agree fully with Nathan that like This is something, if you say like, oh yeah, this is my idea, you should go all in, and then afterwards focus on the entrepreneurial part, on the marketing, and you would solve that issue that you have now. But I mean, shouldn't be any.
Yeah.
Well, I have
Jackie,
to get it.
Jackie,
Yeah, go ahead.
you said your biggest thing right now is you don't have the thing actually made, right?
Right, I'm working on getting it to work.
Like, don't do that. That's not your skill set. You're never going to do that because it's not how your brain works. You said your number one asset is sales. Now, here's what you do. You do what I just did.
No, I'm finding someone who can build it.
Well, it's already been built. So look at my screen, right? This is this like Bella crossbody, whatever it is. It says cool inside, hot outside, and it does exactly what you said. Features.
Yeah, but it's ugly.
Exactly.
And it's big.
Guess what? Take these people and offer
Exactly.
to be their lead salesperson. And by the way, you get 60% or 80.
No, I couldn't sell that. That's ugly and it's gross and it's big. And what I'm thinking of is something small.
Jackie, you're frustrated. You're missing the idea. By getting into this company as a salesperson, you're going to learn how they manufacture it. You're going to learn if they've sold it, how they sell it. You're going to learn if there's a market. And you're going to suck up as much learning as you possibly can while you're there. Then you bury the shit out of them and you go do it yourself with all your new learnings.
And much more beautiful.
That's the quickest. You're right. This is ugly as hell. So great. Maybe there is a market for you. If you make a prettier one, great. But at least go in and learn.
Big. And it's big. Like in my brain, I want it small. It has to go into your pocket. It has to go into your jean pocket. It has to go, you have to be able to go out with it.
Yeah, great. So go research this company. Like call them, act like a customer, buy their product, experiment with their product, even if you think it's ugly. My point is they've already built the thing. If your skill set is selling the thing, actually test your
right.
See if you can actually sell it. And if you can't sell it, even an ugly version, you shouldn't spend your time trying to go into China and figure out how to manufacture this and waste 60 grand doing that. You know what I mean?
Why didn't I ever find this before? I've Googled it like extensively.
All I had to do was I Google searched lipstick cooler. And it was
That's so crazy.
Yeah. This is not a bad thing, by the way, that somebody else is doing it. It's a great thing. It's a great thing. So, Manuel, going back to your side, what business are you looking to launch right now?
Right now, I'm building a digital business and some kind of coaching business. As I have my partners that are coaches, so I'm building the coaching business, but implemented together with digital marketing and doing it on the online space, like with video courses and stuff like that.
Okay. And why are you doing that if you're one of the best athletes in the world at badminton?
Because I use it like lots of the stuff which are in the coaching for athletes. So I use it myself, and there's like I have this huge, as I told in the beginning, like even like when I was younger, to my sort of entrepreneurial drive to build also businesses, and my athlete like. Thinking my athlete career will not go on, like my biggest goal are the Olympics 2020, but after that one I won't be an athlete anymore.
Yep. Well, look, so let's go to my info products here, okay? Because I talk to people who have info product stuff all the time, and I will tell you, like, ridiculously tough business, and I'll tell you why. Everyone like talks about their sexy launch that did $10 million. What they don't talk about is they only made 100 grand off that, right? Because they're paying the affiliate 60 or 80% or sometimes 100%. They sunk $2 million into Facebook ads. They have 3 virtual assistants they pay to deliver the course and 2 full-time support people to manage refunds and chargebacks, right? So part of what I like helping people optimize for is like profit, not revenue, like cash in your pocket. So have you got a system set up with your founders in this info product business? Are they lessons on badminton? Is that what it is?
There's generally as athlete, as general athlete, it's not only in bad, like specifically for my sport.
Okay, and how are you going to make money from this personally?
That's like the marketing part is still in development. Like
no, not the marketing part. Let's say you have $1 million in revenue. top line revenue, what portion of that money do you get personally?
I get personally, you mean from the company, from the as profit?
No, if you do $1 million in revenue tomorrow, you have co-founders, you have expenses. How much of that is actually going to go to your pocket?
50%.
50%.
Yeah, I got 50.
Okay, 50% of profits though, right?
Yes.
So your partner's getting 50%. You're going to have to pay to get $1 million of revenue, right? Like you might actually look at the metrics on this and go, ugh. Like for example, let's say you guys you get the content together, you're featured in the videos, and your business partner says we need to get affiliates on board, and you promise the affiliates 50%. Well, now you're only going to get 25%. Okay. You're only getting 25 cents.
Exactly. No.
You know what I mean?
Yes. Okay.
So
yes, exactly. Yeah.
It's almost like you want to take like a dollar bill, right? And think about, right? So like here's your $10 bill, right? You have this $10 bill, and like you start at 50%, but then you got to give affiliates 50%. So you're only down to 25%. You and your partner 25%, affiliate 50%. Well, then you have all the marketing costs, which are another 20%. Now you're down to 50%. So you have to ask yourself, is it worth it for you to put all this time and to only earn 15 cents on the dollar?
Okay. Yeah, that's true. Okay.
Right. And ask yourself, how do you maximize that? Is there a way that you can maximize that?
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right.
That's a great way. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, you're totally welcome. Let me quickly go back to some of this SaaS stuff that I wanted to touch on. So we talked about customer acquisition cost. Jackie, do you know how to calculate lifetime value in terms of months?
No.
Okay, you always do it. It's
because keep in mind, Nathan, most of all that I've sold as a separate entity is all third party. The Vintage First Site is the first go at my solo, endeavor.
It doesn't matter if you're selling your own stuff or somebody else's. You have to know the lifetime value of every new customer you create.
No, I sell my stuff, but it's all on a third party site.
Okay, still.
They're pretty marketplaces.
Yeah. You should know what your lifetime. If someone named Sandy buys one of your things in a third marketplace, you have to know, is Sandy only going to buy that one thing, or is her lifetime value higher?
Right, and right now what I sell isn't scalable. So usually I don't have very many repeat customers.
Okay, so the lifetime value is basically your average first order value. Right?
Okay.
So here's what's important here. There's a time function of value, and there's a dollar function of lifetime value. The lifetime value in terms of months in a SaaS business, or even an e-commerce business with a reorder rate, is 1 divided by your churn. So 1 divided by 0.03 equals what, Jackie?
I have no idea right now. I would have to use a calculator for everything.
It's on my screen.
Yeah, it's 33.
33. Yeah.
33 months. So let's go back. This customer that cost us $0 to acquire, that's paying an ARPU of $200 per month, is going to stay with us for about 33 months. So 33 times 200 is where I get the $6,600 lifetime value. Manuel, with that lifetime value, now that I know it, what can I comfortably spend on customer acquisition costs if I wanted?
1/3 of it.
Exactly, right? So you got your number times
$2,000, yeah.
0.03.
$2,000.
Or sorry, yeah, $2,000.
Yeah.
That's why understanding lifetime value is so critical, because the people that win certain spaces are the ones that can spend the most to acquire a customer. So if you don't know your lifetime value, you can't figure out what you can spend, right, to acquire your competitors. Right? This is why Dropbox is willing to give away free storage. They know that once you're in the system, you're going to stick for like 5-6 years. So they'll give you free storage to start.
Right.
Right. This is why the infomercial for a cleaning product that Procter & Gamble shows to a millennial that's just out of college they're willing to lose money on that millennial for 4 years because they know if that millennial gets addicted to their product right out of college, they're going to buy the product the rest of their lives. They're always going to buy Tide.
Right.
They'll always buy Crest toothpaste. When they have babies, they'll then buy other P&G products. That's why they're willing to lose so much money up front. Make sense?
Makes
Yes,
sense.
totally.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
So, guys, I went a little bit over. I only wanted to jam for 40 minutes, but I want to do more questions. I want to summarize what we talked about, okay? Because today was fast and it was a lot of numbers, okay? We talked about understanding your average revenue per user per month. We talked about the importance of keeping your good customers and upselling them to get to net negative revenue churn. That's the holy grail. We talked about, again, what churn means.
Yeah.
We talked about your CAC to LTV ratio wants to always be $1 for every $3 of new revenue. We talked about lifetime value in months. Jackie, we talked about for you how this relates back to e-commerce products. I talked about why it's totally okay to copy a competitor. Again, ethically, copy a competitor and then out-execute them on one flank instead of trying to invent something yourself. And I articulated to you the importance of tracking usage metrics as the number one indicator that you can use if your customers will buy again month after month after month. Manuel, give me a rating, 0 to 10. What do you think? Worth it or not?
Well, more than worth it. 10 for sure. For me, 10, because it was like so much value,
Good. Yeah, I did not want to go in this and put together a big PowerPoint slide. I want it to be these things to be a small group, organic. And I know Luis Camasa also called in. Luis, let me see if your phone is actually connected here. Jackie, what'd you think?
Me, I love it. I mean, I like to learn anything new. I hope this doesn't sound like I'd be brushing it off, but numbers definitely are not my strength. And I know that from my perspective, you know, it would behoove me to take on a business partner. And so that's what I was going to ask you. Like, do you feel that, or do you know, I mean, everybody can't be fluent. When you're an entrepreneur, you can't be fluent and strong in everything. So, like, but you're saying
you have to know the numbers.
You have to know your numbers, yes, but there must be entrepreneurs that, like, obviously work with other people who are calculating this up to the minute.
But to start, before you hire a CFO, you have to know the numbers yourself, right? You know,
right.
I was architecture. I mean, it doesn't get more artsy than architecture, right? I was architecture when I launched Heyo. I had to learn the numbers. Right? All this stuff I just taught you guys, I've learned over the past 4 or 5 years by running and building my own business. So it's an acquired taste, Jackie. You also are right next to a university. Go give somebody free beers and pizza who's an accounting major and have them run your financials.
Right.
You know what I mean? Luis, we've got you on, man. What'd you think?
Yeah, hey Nathan, how's it going? Sorry I dialed in a couple minutes late here, but presentation, and I got to tell the other callers here, this is good stuff. You know, being in the SaaS world myself, it's comforting to see what you're going over and know that we're on the right track. You know, we're a small publicly traded company, so this is stuff we live and breathe, and what you went over today got good touch points to work on.
Luis,
what's your company?
Our company is called SMS Masterminds, and primarily we're a mobile marketing company. We focus on marketing technology, so primarily our service is text messaging, and we deliver that through what's called a loyalty tablet. So if you go into your local deli or salon or dry cleaner, you can check into our tablet to earn rewards on discounts on your next purchase. So that's what we do. We send about 7 million text messages a month, have over 6.5 million subscriptions in our system, and we do over about $5.5 million in revenue per year.
I mean, a small publicly traded company is pretty, pardon my French, but hot shit, I think.
Yeah, Jackie, I told you when I told you about the call, I said it's going to be advanced. There's going to be all kinds of great people on. We have over 2 million downloads on the podcast, but the lessons still apply. I mean, Luis, you're a great example of it's because it's clear in the SMS business. Manuel, if I asked you what Luis's number one usage metric is, what would it be?
Luis's number one usage metric.
In other words, what is he looking at? If his customers do each month, they will definitely come back the month after and pay him more and pay him more. What do they have to do?
Oh, he has to look at the churn, no?
Well, no.
No.
What's the
Usage.
Luis, what's your key usage metric?
So the key one is check-in. That's the primary one because check-ins is activity, right? That's influencing user behavior. So the more check-ins we get, the more revenue the merchant makes.
It would be the one that you showed before, also in the one that you acquired, Nathan, like
yes.
what you do tracking. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. The question you want to answer for yourself is, what do customers or free trial users have to do to get them more addicted to our product so that it will stick longer? In Luis's case, he has network effects. He has these little stations in all these places around the country. And when consumers check into those stations in a restaurant or the store, those numbers get stored in his ecosystem. And then he helps people market back to those phone numbers. So the more he has to keep capturing phone numbers because that's what makes his business more valuable. And so then he can say next month, hey, you want a text message 100,000 people instead of 50,000 people? Well, it's double the price. So the usage metric for him is the volume of check-ins better be increasing every month for him. Otherwise, his business is in trouble. Luis, am I right?
Exactly right.
Yep. So the reason I tell all of you guys this, a lot of people just focus on revenue. Revenue can count stuff. In fact, you could have great revenue numbers, but if I look at your economics and I see usage rates going down, I'm not investing. I'm running. So my point is ignore revenue a bit, right? And focus on the key usage metrics your people need to be doing, whether it's using a lipstick so they come back and buy it again, or manual for you, whether it's watch the whole training video on the badminton course and come back. And for Luis, it's obviously check-in volume.
Yeah, okay, great. Thank you. Yeah.
Good.
You know, Nathan, it's interesting because your point just now, I mean, that's the difference really also between somebody who is a salesperson and someone who's an entrepreneur, and that's the truth, because the other numbers matter, but as a salesperson, you're just looking to drive revenue. If that's innate in you, you're just looking to get numbers on the board, and when you work for a corporation, there's someone in back worrying about the rest.
Well, I will tell you, I've talked to a lot of people that have huge sales organizations. Luis, do you guys have an inside sales organization?
We do. We have about 30 part-time telemarketers. We make about 20,000 calls a week. We have a small team of in-house salespeople, and we have about 200 outside sales reps that canvass the country.
So there is nothing more frustrating for a product team when the inside sales team is selling customers to close a deal to hit quota to customers that are not a good fit, and they're not going to actually use the product, and they learn later.
Right.
So even good salespeople care a lot about usage metrics because it helps you understand what customers you should hang up on immediately because you know they're not a fit versus you should actually close. Luis, am I right?
Absolutely. You know, our goal is we make 55 cold calls to get one appointment, and then from that one appointment, you know, typically we'll close 30% of those on the first-time visit, and we'll close a higher percentage on the repeat visit. But it just goes to show you how much work goes in one sale.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, well, you have to create a targeted sales list that's all developed based on, you know, you're honing out targeted sales lists. I'm just saying it's the difference of a thought process between a salesperson. Even on a large enterprise sale, you know, your target list might be only 50 people deep because those are qualified. You're pre-qualing.
Totally. Yeah, the point that I'm making, Jackie, is you have to know what usage metrics your product people hit, and that's what helps you determine if you should sell them in the first place.
Right.
Guys, hey, listen, any last questions for me? I'm doing this every month. I told you guys all I have no problem giving you every cent of your money back if you didn't like it. Jackie, do you want a refund?
No, it was great.
Luis, do you want a refund?
I'm good, man.
Manuel, you want money back?
I want to know when this next month.
Someone like on a call like this begging people to take refunds. Have you ever seen that before? No, right?
No.
I might need a re-tutorial.
You all, by the way, I never do recordings on my free webinars. You all have recordings for these, so you can go back and watch them whenever you want.
That'll be great.
I'm going to keep doing this, guys. We'll have about 10 people on each one. I chose to unmute you 3 today. Everybody else, I saw your questions. I'll get back to you via email. But everybody else, Luis, Manuel, Jackie, thanks for being good sports. I'll see you next time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye, Nathan. Thank you.